Let's take a deep breath together before we dive in, because this discussion might be challenging, but it could be one of the most transformative ones you'll encounter. Emotional detachment often lingers long after the farewell. You might still be there in body, but your spirit has drifted away. You're clinging to a person who no longer notices you, hoping for a gesture, a moment of warmth, or any hint of affection that never arrives. Yet you stay, not out of frailty, but because you trusted, you cherished, you poured out your soul. Eventually, though, that bond starts to suffocate rather than sustain you. That's when the true struggle emerges, not against them, but inside your own heart. Stoic philosophy doesn't urge you to bury your emotions, it guides you to comprehend and reshape them. To distinguish what you can shape from what you must surrender, to grasp the gap between influence and release, and above all, to understand that true attachment isn't love, love should never lead to your own unraveling. In this session, I won't urge you to erase the memory of someone dear. Instead, I'll guide you toward liberation from the lingering ache. I'll offer Stoic principles drawn from Marcus Aurelius to help you reclaim your spirit, your thoughts, and your path. The aim isn't to turn icy or aloof, it's to rediscover your core, to quiet the voice that murmurs, perhaps they'll return. Perhaps they'll transform, because today, the transformation begins with you. Are you prepared to embark? Accept what's beyond your grasp. Have you ever caught yourself looping through the same memories, questioning what words or actions might have altered the outcome, or if holding tighter could have kept them close? It's as if your thoughts turn into an endless loop of sorrowful reruns. But imagine if the path to inner liberation isn't in rehashing history, but in embracing the now. This is Stoicism's clearest message. Marcus Aurelius noted, "You command your thoughts, not external circumstances." Embrace this, and strength follows. That insight alone reshapes our approach to loss. The reality is, you can't dictate another's emotions toward you. You can't compel loyalty. You can't alter their decisions. Once you internalize this, not just mentally, but deeply, you start shedding the burden you've carried far too long. We often mix up release with defeat, but they're worlds apart. Defeat strikes when hope in existence fades. Release occurs when you cease battling unwinnable fights. Holding on to someone who's already departed is like clutching a scorching chain. The firmer your grip, the worse the burn. So reflect. Why do I persist in trying to steer what isn't mine? Is it dread of solitude? The notion that you're incomplete without them? The false hope that resolution will bring serenity? Whatever the route, the price is steep, for the more you grasp at them, the more you erode your essence. Detachment emerges from reallocating accountability. It involves affirming, I'm accountable only for my expressions of care, not their reception. For my presence, not their acknowledgement of my value. For my recovery, not their potential return. This pivot is empowerment. This pivot is tranquility. Picture a tree releasing its foliage in fall. It doesn't fret or resist, it surrenders, not from defeat, but as part of its essence. Humans mirror this. Connections evolve, sentiments shift, certainties dissolve. It stings, certainly, but fighting this truth breeds only torment, not solace. Instead of dwelling on why their affection waned, examine what within you clings to the irreversible. Instead of wishing they'd awaken to your absence, awaken to what you've sacrificed in the wait, vitality, focus, dignity. The stark reality: recovery doesn't await their comeback, it ignites. When you no longer require them to initiate it, absorb this, embrace it, not for comfort, but for the freedom it unlocks. Stop idealizing what caused your wounds. Why do we, after a departure, selectively recall the joys, the shared smiles, the intimacy, the vows? We loop the best scenes like a nostalgic montage, as if convincing ourselves the loss was flawless, unmatched. Yet recollection deceives. Agony has a knack for glossing over warnings, erasing the voids, the detachment, the instances that diminished you. This is a profound emotional snare, not the individual, but the idealized image of them. That's the anchor. That's the stagnation. You're not enamored with them now, you're attached to a polished memory, curated by a reluctant heart. Stoicism urges us to perceive reality as it stands, not as we dream it. Epictetus remarked, "Events don't distress us, our responses do." Idealizing a source of harm stems from sentiment, not insight. We opt for delusion over fact. Each revisit to that mirage drains energy into a phantom, one incapable of reciprocating, appearing, or mending. Dismantle the shrine. Cease elevating someone who failed your needs. They might not have been malicious, just distant, oblivious, unprepared for your intensity. Regardless, they inflicted damage. Denying it isn't resilience, it's evasion. Consider, if they consistently evoked unease, invisibility, inadequacy, is it love you crave, or the safety of routine, the terror of renewal, the yearning for your former self? Demand honesty from yourself, for clarity isn't harsh, it's kind. This isn't resentment, it's safeguarding. Halting the idealization bars the past from re-entering your core. You gain a complete view. The charm, yes, but the hurt too. Only then can release truly unfold. The next time nostalgia pulls you in, halt. Question: am I recalling facts or fabricating a trap? Healing isn't amnesia, it's confronting history with clear vision and compassion, then prioritizing yourself. Discard the narrative, discard the dream. In that void, craft something authentic, where you're no longer an afterthought in your own existence. Create space to restore perspective. When feelings are fresh, closeness turns toxic. Lingering near someone you're releasing, physically, online, or inwardly, only aggravates the scar. It's akin to drying in a downpour. You yearn for mending, yet remain in the deluge. Stoics stressed detachment not merely from individuals, but from urges and deceptions clouding reason. Marcus Aurelius advised, construct your existence step by step, content if each advances its purpose. Yet action falters if your focus orbits another's pull. Detachment doesn't start with apathy, it arises from separation. Separation that dissipates the haze, revealing what was genuine, what projected, what mismatched from the start. This isn't always erasure or vanishing, though vital at times. It entails erecting guards for your psyche. Cease monitoring their feeds. Stop poring over past exchanges like relics. End the cycle of speculating on their life, companions, or thoughts of you. Each indulgence cedes control, not to them, but to their mental echo. Power resurfaces when you reclaim focus. Insight blooms from solitude. Stepping aside unveils tolerated patterns, lost fragments of self, settlements for validation. You rediscover your pre-turmoil identity, and envision post-recovery potential. Envision your psyche as a chamber. With them dominating the center, no room exists for unhindered thought, emotion, breath. But ventilate with detachment's breeze, and clamor fades, calm descends, self-voice resurfaces. Reflect. What tethers me to proximity? What if I granted myself days, weeks, without their influence? Responses may intimidate, yet emancipate. Detach not from indifference, but from self-care sufficient for tranquility's haven. Detach to reclaim your authentic self, not the one they favored, not the shattered one, but your destined essence. Master your responses, not their actions. We invest endless effort deciphering others. Why the retreat? The shift, the chill after warmth. It evolves into mental drudgery, forecasting, dissecting, rationalizing their moods. Yet the flaw, obsessing on them obscures self-understanding. That's the snare where bonds self-sustain via fixation on the uncontrollable. Stoics offered a profound liberation. Disturbance stems not from events, but judgments. Suffering isn't from their progression, it's from narratives around their absence. Not from their evolution, from unmet expectations. Interpretations inflict the deepest cuts, not conduct. Reclaim authority by governing reactions. When overlooked, resist pursuit. When their shares sting, avoid dissent. When they withdraw, refuse to link your value to theirs. Their paths reflect them, not you. Your response harbors liberty. Choosing deliberation over impulse renders you resilient. This isn't numbing, it's witnessing. Granting pause between trigger and reply. Breathing amid provocation. It's demanding, especially with lingering affection. Yet crucial, as each flare-up, scrutiny, plea fuels the blaze you seek to douse. You needn't reshape their deeds, only your lens. Envision resilience. Indifference met with grace, withdrawal with esteem. That's stoic poise. That's emotional growth's dawn. And it transcends them, preparing for life's letdowns, shifts, surprises. Tying serenity to actions ensures instability. Building on responses, principles, yields unshakable calm. Next impulse to react, pause. Does this align with my emerging self, or merely crave notice from the departed? It may wound, yet liberate. Allow existence as is, people as they are, but command yourself, escaping their turmoil forever. Redefine love as an offering, not a pursuit. Society often frames love as acquisition, external, bestowed via notice, tenderness, companionship. Withdrawal feels like depletion, stripping core identity. This prevalent view turns heartbreak devastating. Yet love isn't chaste, it's innate, carried within eternally. Stoics seldom addressed romance as we do, but their ethos resonates. Virtue, rational, honorable living, is supreme. Authentic love embodies virtue, undemanding, unmanipulative, unbroken. It's expressed via principles, not extracted through validation. When affection goes unreturned, your love's essence is probed. If transactional, existing only reciprocated, distance dooms. But if given freely, for heart's alignment, unreturned it remains intact, you offered beauty they couldn't embrace. Redefining isn't detachment, it's non-possessive caring. Affirming, I invested wholly, appeared completely, shared deeply. Now, depart with honor preserved. If value hinges on selection, it's perpetually vulnerable. But defined by honest, brave expression, it endures rejection unscathed. Many linger in limbo not from love, but unseen validation, craving return to affirm significance. Yet it already did, the depth you offered suffices. Closure isn't dialogue, it's perceptual shift. Reflect, do I love to share authenticity, or fill voids only they seem to? It may burn, but unveils all. Your love wasn't squandered, it affirmed vitality, capacity for profound bonds. Now, direct it inward, to the one truly requiring it, yourself. Don't mistake ache for bond. Post-separation, a perilous myth, persistent hurt signifies enduring tie, unbreakable link, unfinished tale. But what if ache signals resistance, not depth? Not about them, but reluctance to relinquish your narrative. Minds seek purpose. Departures prompt frantic gap-filling. Silence. Intolerable, we sanctify suffering. This intensity proves reality. Yet genuine affection shouldn't ensnare in anguish. True ties don't thrive on woe. If sorrow alone sustains their presence, that's injury, not love. Stoics advocated peering beyond superficial feelings. Epictetus. Upon occurrence, attitude alone is yours, embrace or resent. Pain's unavoidable, storytelling around it dictates freedom. Some remain bound years, not by vital love, but familiar torment. Identity entwines with grief, fearing its absence. That's not linkage, it's confinement, stasis, overlooking permission to feel profoundly yet release. Hard query, love or addiction to absence. Longing habituates, equating grief with import risks believing progress dishonors sentiment. Contrarily, release is reverence, for self, history, future. If sting persists, you're mortal. But don't idolize, nourish, dwell till it homesteads. Honor emotions without future dictation. Next constriction, mind wander, genuine affection or unreleased echo. Querying advances serenity, not connections close, but fresh link to liberty. Focus on your evolution, not the absence. Departures can feel final, not merely relational end, but your vitality, trajectory, identity. Grieving extends to your partnered self. Amid haze, we err unconsciously, reversing existence, reminiscing, contrasting, pondering. Yet mending advances forward, shifting from the lever to your current emergence. Stoicism directs emotions productively, toward ethics, lucidity, progression. Marcus Aurelius. Cease debating goodness, embody it. Similarly, forego lamenting potential, become needless of it. Agony illuminates priorities, humbles, dismantles delusions, compels facing neglected facets amid another's love. Perhaps passions yielded for their ease. You shrank for their space. Gave endlessly, forgetting reception. Not fault, revelation. They exited, but insight lingers, sacred blueprint for wiser, fortified you. Yet ghosts obstruct meeting it. Query. What to construct post-departure? Not vengefully, but reclaiming once diverted energy. Begin modestly. Revive routines, dust goals paused for notice. Expand intellect, energize form, self-speak kindly. These declare, past doesn't bind, loss doesn't define, I forge superior inwardly. Glancing back, missing, permissible. But don't linger, future awaits ahead. Your emerging self, survivor, clarity chooser, worth prioritizer, merits undivided focus. Let void spark growth. Silence is palate, life articulating not lost whispers, but bold deeds of your becoming. Safeguard your serenity as priceless. Post-exit, especially from centrality, temptation lingers, door ajar, potential re-entry. We soften barriers, remain open, monitor casually. Yet peril, unlocked entries admit disorder to sanctity, you're calm. Stoics viewed peace as internal construct, choice built, limit defined. Seneca. Unhappiest he evading hardship, untested. Peace forges actively, what permitted, endured, abandoned. Reflect. What disrupts calm yet persists? Mental replays, message hopes, life voyeurism, as if observation revives. It doesn't, deepens injury. Safeguarding means shutting their mental tabs. Declining casual outreach, not bitterly, but heal ward. Resisting worth proofs or reminders. Pursuit seeds emotional rains to the absent. Envision serenity as flame. Thoughts, choices, bounds fuel warmth. Readmitting douses. Wonder no steadiness. Truth. Self guards peace alone. May demand quiet, barriers, isolation over turmoil. Initially loss-like, soon self-honor. Peace isn't flashy, yet potent, restores dawns, rest, delight. Affirms calm sands them, guard zealously. Amid clamor, irreplaceable. Seek no resolution from the unclear. We crave finale, sense-making dialogue, explaining shifts, departures, releases. Humanly, comprehension seems pain-bane, yet stoic fact. Resolution self-made, not bestowed. Marcus Aurelius. Opinion optional, no need troubling soul. Including absent explanations. Some fled from self-turmoil, not your insufficiency. Changed covertly from self-dishonesty. Fated cowardly, not cruelly. Awaiting depth from shallow equals storm-calm quest. If honesty lack near, expect no distant lucidity. Progress needs no words, decision. Cease permission seeking for recovery, loose end tying hopes. Truth. Dialogue wouldn't rewrite silences, ignores, pleas unmet. Resolutions acceptance, not queries. Their acts mirror them, not your measure. Love shouldn't confound, manipulate, fragile sans voice. Reclaim story, not abandoned, but risen unaided. You may never grasp retreat, authenticity, performance. But no sensations. Tension near them, weights weight, efforts imbalance. That's sufficient. Not lyrical, but factual. Fact suffices for rebirth. Discard script, ideal close. Forgive sans apology. Release sans admission. Advance sans memory. You gained wisdom, resilience, self-return. Choose liberty over delusion. Eventually, confront, clinging to person or fabrication. Attachments persist not from excellence, but fantasies allure over truth-facing. We grip hopes, needs, not reality. Hope sans ground imprisons. Years chasing mirages. Stoics. Reality allies, illusions foe. Marcus Aurelius aligned with actuality, not wishes. Detachment demands bravery, eyeing, releasing fantasy. Accepting unreadiness, absence, silences eloquence. Liberties in surrender, not wait. Fantasy pauses existence. Awaiting replies, rewriting talks, dreaming mental versions. Meanwhile, reality unfolds unheard amid illusion's din. Liberty choosing. Pain lingers, yet you deem truth, sad, healing, honest, superior to flawless falsehood. Accept conclusion sans myth. Presence over potential. Reflect. Fantasies toll, peace nights, clarity mourns, assurance lost pursuing unturning. What creatable, becomable, buildable post-release. Exist not in hypotheticals, but actuals, building beauty therefrom. Commence ceasing return queries, envision sans need life. Aligned love, mutual, uplifting, needs no hunt. Holding space delays destined arrival. Person, calm, strength. Opt liberty, insight, self, with poise, sans rancor or remorse. Release not from care's end, from deserved recall. Release isn't past deletion, hurt denial, love pretense. It's peace over disorder. Amid ache, affirming better deserve sans confusion. Honoring past, freeing unserving for becoming. Stoic insight channels emotion to grandeur, expansion, fortitude, calm, liberty. Test isn't reciprocation, it's self-love post-unlove. If aching, wondering, hoping subtly, remember, not shattered, evolving. Clarity over mirage, now over yearning, fact over dream, you rise. Turning not their return, but yours. If this resonated, pass it to another in need. Subscribe. We foster contemplation, recovery, resilience collectively.